Hey guys, Jeremy here at My Way MFG. Behind me sits a 2024 Model T pickup truck. I started building this thing this year out of scrap bits and pieces. There's furnaces, water heaters, Chevy parts, Ford parts, plywood. But it kind of looks like a Model T, so that's what I've been calling it. Anyway, if you guys have been watching for a while, you already know what it is. There's quite a few videos on this. Let me do a walk around, just show the new guys. Assuming there is new guys, I don't know. But anyway, that back part my great-grandpa built, used to pull it behind his tractor. It was a cart that he made out of a Chevy truck axle, torque tube axle. I found some Model T fenders that I've still got to get mounted. Built the cab out of plywood, and it's got a skin on top of it off of a A.O. Smith water heater. The windows are out of campers. The front grill's an air conditioner condenser and more water heater and furnace parts to make the sheet metal. Got an old Ford front axle, old Ford wheels on the front. Headlight buckets are Chevy. Steering columns out of an old Ford truck. And then we've got some steering knuckles and stuff in here that came out of a Dodge Dakota. Hexagonal steering box out of something. Tie rod ends were 2015 Ford. This fender here I've got mounted and put in place. I've got the hood side off right now so I could get in there to them steering knuckles. That's a piece of a furnace cabinet that I put louvers in. But yeah, all in all, she looks like an old Model T. But anyway, here's what we're doing today. I had first just started building this. It was just going to be a yard ornament. I was going to set it out on the corner and put flowers or something around it and make people think I had an old Model T truck sitting there. Then as time went on, I got to thinking, it'd be cool if I could drive it just around town. All these other guys drive their four-wheelers and side-by-sides around. Why can't I drive this? But anyway, there was no steering. I've kind of got that worked out. Still got to do some brakes somehow. But the big thing is, we need a motor, right? Well, my buddy Troy had a motor. He'd been watching the videos. He said, come down and get it. See if you can make it run and work. I've never started it, he says. And if it works out for you, we'll figure out a price. It's going to be cheap. Troy's the same kind of guy as me. He's not a real fancy guy, so his cheap and my cheap are probably the same kind of cheap. But anyway, I haven't started it yet either. So today, we're going to see if it'll run. So here's what it is. I ran the serial numbers on this. This motor is a 1960 Onan twin cylinder. These were industrial engines, often put in generators. The company started out building generators. Later on, they started putting them in other things, selling them to tractor companies and lawn tractors, things like that. But these were real heavy built industrial motors. They were the kind of thing that you start up and then never shut off unless you're servicing it. Like the generators they were using like in the TV show MASH at the hospital, the MASH hospitals and stuff. This would have been what Klinger and Radar was running back there trying to get going every time you'd see the lights flicker, you know. But they're meant for long-term use. And then they're completely rebuildable, so if it goes bad, you just fix it. But anyway, it's the kind of thing you just start up and just keep going and going and going and going, assuming it runs. That kind of reliability and durability is the kind of thing we want in this for those you know, long cross-country trips that we might be taking. You get in this and start heading across the country, you want something that's gonna be reliable and just get you where you're going, you know? Anyway, that being said, does it run? Let's find out. Got a roll of this 1/4 inch clear tubing here. This motor has a fuel pump on it. So we should be able to connect this up here, drop it down in a gas can. This clear tubing will, see how long do we need this? Probably about right there. This clear tubing will be good because we can actually watch and see if the fuel pump is picking up fuel. This does have a glass sediment bowl on it too. We'd also be able to tell with that, but this here will give us real time, you know. We can see the fuel coming up in real time. So let's, this has been sitting in the shed, pretty dirty. Somebody's put a clamp over the field line with a bolt in the end of it so nothing would get in there. That's good. So undo that clamp, see if we can pull this off of here. Just go ahead and put our clamp back on this just for the heck of it. You don't want to be sucking air, right? You can't suck fuel if we're sucking air. And I got a gas can sitting here. Let's drop that down in there. Well, she's got oil in her. Oh yeah. Do it on oil. All right, so this should give us a temporary fuel system. Fuel pump's right back there. So now we got to get some power to it. See what we can do for that. The coil's mounted back behind that shroud. This wire's going to the positive side of the coil. Got it ran down to positive on the battery. That should give us power to our points. Just having a hard time finding a place to get a ground on this motor. Everywhere you look, it's got paint, but that's good, right? It makes you think it's been cared for. Anyway, I did get it turning over by grabbing the spark plug. It's not pulling any gas yet. Pulling any gas yet. I need to make sure my hose is down in there good. Might have curled up on me, you know. There. I'm probably gonna pull the air cleaner off here and prime it a little bit and just see what happens. If it don't fire like that, I might pull a spark plug. Make sure we got spark, you know. Fuel pump is starting to pump up. We got gas coming into our line. Not sure if we got any power though. Hang on a second. Got a test light here. Let's just see if we got power coming up to our coil. We do. I think it's time we pull a plug. That's dry. I probably hadn't poured enough gas down the throat. Let's just set this here and see if we got any spark. Not seeing any spark. I believe the points are behind here. Let's pull that off and clean them up a little bit. I can see a spark once in a while, but it's not consistent. Let's get something in there and clean them up some. I got the points cleaned up and working. I had this spark plug out. I didn't have any fire at this spark plug. I started cleaning it up. No matter what I did, I didn't have any fire there. But I had fire at the points. I pulled that plug out and I had fire on that one. I switched plugs side to side, and then I had fire on this one, but not that one. So I've got one bad spark plug here. I'm gonna try to walk around here and find one out of something else and see if I can get spark going on both sides. And then we're gonna try to start this one more time. Which side did I put the good plug in? I think it's over here. Yep, I got fire on that one. Can't get any fire through this spark plug. That's a Champion CJ8. Wife's in town. I should have just had her pick me up 2 new spark plugs. Anyway, let's see what happens here. Grabbed one hair out of the motor on my gas-powered air compressor. Let's try that. Okay, got spark on both sides. See what happens here. Maybe we can get this old girl to pop off. Probably be for the first time in a long time. Give her a little more fuel down the neck here. All right. need battery charger. Got a spark now, still not picking up any fuel. As I look at this fuel pump, there's a lever on it right here. It has a hole drilled in it like you'd have a cable on it. I wonder if that has to be up for the fuel pump to work. Vacuum operated fuel pump probably. Maybe that butterfly in there shuts the vacuum off to the fuel pump and kills the motor. Let's go ahead and just prop this lever up with something, tie it up there, and see if that makes a difference. Just stuck a pair of needle nose pliers in there and I got that propped up. I'm just going to watch this clear field line and see. Wanting to do something. Got gas coming up. We did get gas coming up that time. It might have started filling the carburetor, the float bowl. Let it set for a while and let the battery charge some more. It seemed like it started picking up gas better after I opened that butterfly on that fuel pump, so I think that was the right thing to do. This motor's kind of hard to turn over. As I look here, I just noticed this petcock right here on the fuel float bowl. Let's make sure that's open too. I guess it is. All right, try this again here in a minute. Plugs are still dry. Not sure if it's got any gas in the bowl yet or not. Maybe the needle's stuck. Try a little brake clean, see if it likes that. Could have done without the Mopar starter. Gonna run. It did run. Just not sure we're getting feel just yet. We've got feel up to it. Yeah, the sediment bowl is full. So do we got any feel in the carburetor? I don't know. Might have to pull that carburetor apart and take a look in there. Remember when I shoved that pair of pliers in the fuel pump butterfly valve? They fell out and then it started working. I must have put that in the off position where I had it in the on position to start with. So apparently if you pull that butterfly up, it shuts the fuel pump off. Or shuts something off. I could see it pump and feel either way though. I don't know. But anyway, it's running. I don't quite understand all the controls yet like that, but that sounded good, right? Okay, that's a success. So now I feel comfortable going ahead and ordering a clutch for it. That's an 1 1/8" shaft. And unfortunately, the 1-inch ones are pretty cheap, and when you go to order a clutch for an 1 1/8", it's about $100 more. I don't understand why. They also make an adapter that would go on this and bring this down to a 1-inch shaft. Maybe I'll just do that. I got to think about it. Also, Brian has a transmission. It's a 3-speed with reverse out of a Cushman scooter, like one of the 3-wheel Cushmans, that he thought might work good for this because they're smaller. You know, I was going to try to find like a little Muncie 3-speed. I'm going to check out that Cushman transmission. I've never laid my eyes on one, but if it looks like something I can work with, I'll grab it. I'm just going to start collecting parts for this so that when the time comes, I kind of got what I need here to get it together. But anyway, hey, our Onan motor runs, so that's great. Sounds good. So I think I'm going to end this here. While I've been out here working on this Onan motor today, I've had the grill going the whole time. Smoker box. Anyway, as of usual, I'm getting ready to eat again. So what do we got today to eat, Jeremy? Well, chicken legs, chicken thighs, and down in the bottom of that is some rib tips. So, yeah, gotta like that. I like to put my crock pots right next to my battery chargers and Onan engines. All right, Bub. It's Bubba approved. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, comment, share, all those things. I don't know when last time that motor ran, but it's running again, so we call that a win. Later, guys. Jeremy.